In The Young and the Restless, everything is about to spiral out of control, and this moment could change everything. Las Vegas becomes the center of a terrifying situation. Nick Newman is already in trouble, but he doesn't even realize how bad it's about to get. What started as a dangerous setup quickly turns into a life-or-death scenario. Matt Clark has been playing a twisted game from the shadows, pushing Nick into a situation that no one should ever face. There's no warning, no second chance, just one wrong move. And unfortunately, that move happens. Inside a quiet, rundown gas station, Nick finally comes face to face with the consequences. At first, nothing seems unusual. It's just another stop, another moment. But within seconds, everything changes. Something is wrong. Nick begins to feel it. His body reacts before his mind can even process what's happening. His breathing becomes uneven. His vision starts to blur. The strength in his body begins to fade, like someone just pulled the power out from under him. This isn't just stress. This isn't just exhaustion. This is something far more dangerous. The realization hits too late. Whatever he was exposed to is starting to take control. His movements slow down, his balance slips, and suddenly, he can't even stand properly anymore. Then comes the moment no one saw coming. Nick collapses. Right there on the floor of the gas station, completely helpless. There's no one around to immediately help him. No familiar face. No backup. Just silence and a situation that is getting worse by the second. This is exactly the kind of outcome Matt was counting on. A quiet place. No witnesses. No way out. Nick is now trapped in a nightmare he never agreed to play. And as his condition continues to decline, the danger becomes even more real. Every second matters now. Every second could be the difference between survival and something much worse. Meanwhile, miles away, someone else is racing against time. Sienna Bacall is on her way. She doesn't have all the answers yet, but she has a feeling. A strong, unsettling feeling that something is very wrong. And that feeling is pushing her to move faster than ever. Because deep down, she believes Nick is in serious danger. What she doesn't know is just how close she is to being too late. Back at the gas station, Nick isn't moving. The situation is critical. And unless someone gets there in time, this could be the end of the story for him. In The Young and the Restless, the tension is now reaching its breaking point. Nick Newman is down. Alone. And fighting for his life inside a deserted gas station in Las Vegas. But across the city, a new force is closing in fast. Sienna Bacall. Sienna isn't just casually arriving. She's rushing. Every second feels heavier than the last. Something about this situation doesn't sit right with her, and that gut feeling is the only thing guiding her right now. She has already pieced together enough to know one thing clearly: Nick is in danger. A very serious danger. As she gets closer to the location, her thoughts keep racing. She remembers everything she noticed earlier, the warning signs, the strange behavior, and the connection to everything happening around Matt Clark's twisted game. Nothing about this feels random anymore. Back at the gas station, Nick's condition is getting worse. His body is barely responding. His strength is fading fast, and his mind is slipping in and out of awareness. Time is not on his side. Then suddenly, Sienna arrives. She steps into the gas station and immediately senses something is wrong. The silence is heavy. Too heavy. And then she sees him. Nick. Collapsed on the ground. Her heart drops instantly. There's no hesitation. No second thoughts. Sienna runs straight to him, dropping beside his motionless body. She checks for signs: breathing, pulse, anything that proves he's still hanging on. It's weak, but he's still alive. Barely. This is the moment everything depends on her reaction. Sienna quickly realizes this isn't something simple. This is not exhaustion. This is not stress. This is something far more dangerous: an overdose-level emergency situation. And she knows exactly what this looks like. Without wasting a second, she reaches for something she brought with her. A life-saving medication. Something she carries because of her past trauma and experience with loss. Her hand shakes slightly, but she forces herself to stay focused. There is no room for fear right now. Nick's life is slipping away. And Sienna is the only one standing between him and the worst outcome. She prepares to act immediately, knowing that every second delay could be fatal. Outside, the world feels frozen. Inside, it's a race against death. And just when it looks like everything might be over, Sienna makes her move. In The Young and the Restless, everything now comes down to a single moment, one decision that could decide whether Nick Newman lives or dies. Inside the gas station, the air feels thick and still. Nick is barely conscious. His body is weak, unresponsive, and slipping further away with every passing second. It's clear this is not something that will resolve on its own. Sienna Bacall is now fully in control of the situation, but the pressure is overwhelming. This is exactly the kind of emergency she feared she might one day face again. And now, it's happening in front of her. She quickly assesses Nick's condition again. His breathing is shallow. His skin is pale. His responsiveness is fading in and out. Everything points toward a severe overdose-type reaction. There is no time for delay. Sienna's hands move with urgency, but her mind stays focused. She knows panic won't help Nick. Only action will. She reaches for the emergency medication she brought with her. A reversal treatment designed for situations like this. Her past experience is what prepared her for this moment, but nothing can fully prepare someone emotionally for watching another person fight for life right in front of them. Still, she doesn't stop. She carefully positions Nick, making sure he's stable enough to receive help. Every movement is controlled, precise, and urgent at the same time. There's no audience here. No backup team. Just her and Nick. For a brief second, everything feels unreal. The silence of the gas station, the flickering lights, and Nick's motionless body all combine into something almost surreal. Then Sienna acts. She administers the emergency treatment. The moment it happens, everything feels suspended in time. There is no immediate reaction. No dramatic shift. Just waiting. Seconds feel like minutes. Sienna watches closely, scanning for any sign of change. Her expression stays focused, but inside, she is bracing for anything. Nick's chest rises, slightly. Then again. A faint but noticeable shift breaks the stillness. It's not a full recovery. Not yet. But it's something. A sign that the medication is starting to work. Sienna exhales quietly, but she doesn't relax. Not even for a second. She knows this is only the beginning of stabilizing him, not the end of the danger. Nick slowly starts showing more signs of responsiveness. His body is still weak, but the complete collapse has stopped progressing. He is still alive. And that alone is a major shift in the situation. Sienna stays by his side, continuing to monitor him closely. She knows complications can still happen. Recovery from this kind of condition is never instant. But the most critical moment, the point of no return, has been avoided. For now. Outside, Las Vegas continues like nothing happened. But inside this small gas station, a life has just been pulled back from the edge. Sienna knows she did what she had to do. But the danger around Nick Newman is far from over. Because this wasn't just an accident. It was part of something much bigger. And whoever set this up is still out there. In The Young and the Restless, even after a life is saved, trust is still not guaranteed. Nick Newman is alive, but the danger surrounding him has not disappeared. And back in Genoa City, Sharon Newman is not celebrating. She's worried. Conflicted. And most of all, suspicious. News of Nick's condition reaches her, and the fact that Sienna Bacall was the one who found and helped him immediately raises questions in Sharon's mind. On the surface, it sounds like a heroic act. Sienna arrives just in time. Saves Nick's life. Steps in when no one else could. But for Sharon, things are never that simple. She starts replaying everything she knows about Sienna. The timing. The connections. The way she suddenly appears right in the middle of chaos involving Matt Clark's twisted situation. It doesn't sit right with her. Sharon has seen too many situations turn dangerous in unexpected ways. And in her experience, people don't always show their true intentions immediately. Even if Sienna helped Nick. What if there's more to the story? What if Sienna is still connected to something bigger? That thought won't leave Sharon's mind. Meanwhile, others around Nick are beginning to express gratitude. The fact that he survived this situation feels like a miracle. And Sienna is being seen by some as the reason that miracle happened. But Sharon is not convinced. She believes survival doesn't automatically mean safety. And saving someone once doesn't prove loyalty. As Nick slowly begins to recover, questions start forming around the entire incident. How did this happen? Why him? And who was really behind it? Sienna continues to stay close, trying to support Nick's recovery. She doesn't push for attention. She doesn't try to explain too much. She simply stays present, doing what needs to be done. But Sharon watches from a distance. Analyzing. Waiting. Still unsure if Sienna is truly on their side or simply part of a larger hidden agenda. The tension between gratitude and suspicion begins to build quietly. And in Sharon's mind, one thing is clear. This story is far from over. In The Young and the Restless, even after a crisis is over, nothing truly feels safe. Nick Newman is alive. He's recovering slowly, still weak from everything that happened at the Las Vegas gas station. The worst moment, when his life was hanging by a thread, has passed, but the emotional impact is still very real. Everyone around him is trying to make sense of what just happened. But one question keeps coming back again and again. Who is Sienna Bacall really? Sienna continues to stay close, but not in an invasive way. She doesn't demand credit. She doesn't try to turn Nick's survival into a big moment for herself. Instead, she remains focused on making sure he stabilizes properly. Still, the suspicion doesn't disappear. Sharon Newman cannot fully accept what she saw. Even though Sienna saved Nick's life, Sharon's instincts are telling her there's more beneath the surface. Too many coincidences. Too many unanswered questions. And the biggest problem, Matt Clark's involvement in the larger situation is still not fully understood. For Sharon, this means one thing: the danger might not be over yet. Meanwhile, Nick begins to regain clarity. As his strength slowly returns, he starts remembering fragments of what happened. The confusion, the loss of control, and the terrifying moment everything went dark. It wasn't random. It was planned. And that realization changes everything. Sienna tries to help him stay grounded, making sure he doesn't push himself too hard. Her actions remain consistent, supportive, calm, and careful. But even that doesn't fully erase Sharon's doubts. Because in situations like this, intentions matter as much as actions. And trust is the hardest thing to rebuild. Noah Newman is also caught in the middle emotionally, seeing both sides. On one hand, Sienna clearly helped save his father. On the other hand, the situation around her still feels uncertain. As tension builds quietly in the background, one truth becomes clear. This story didn't end with Nick surviving. It only changed direction. Because whoever set this trap is still out there. And until that truth is fully exposed, no one in The Young and the Restless can truly relax. Sienna may have saved Nick's life. But proving she can be trusted? That's a completely different battle. In The Young and the Restless, the tension in Genoa City is reaching an explosive level as Nick Newman's situation spirals completely out of control. Nick has been struggling in silence for a long time, but now his pain and his dependency is becoming impossible to hide. What once looked manageable is now turning into something far more dangerous. And the worst part? Everyone around him can already see it happening. The pressure builds when Adam Newman confronts Nick directly about his condition. Adam doesn't sugarcoat it. He knows Nick is in trouble, and he pushes him to take action before things get worse. But Nick refuses to fully face what's happening to him. That denial is exactly what makes the situation so risky. Meanwhile, a far more dangerous force is watching everything unfold: Matt Clark. From a distance, Matt observes Nick's struggle with a cold satisfaction, clearly manipulating events from behind the scenes. For Matt, Nick's weakness is not a concern, it's an opportunity. And that opportunity is about to turn into something devastating. As Nick's condition worsens, the situation shifts from emotional conflict to physical danger. His body begins to fail him at the worst possible moment, right when everything is on the line. A rescue mission is already underway, but Nick may not make it there in one piece. And what happens next will change everything for the Newman family. In The Young and the Restless, the situation escalates fast as Nick Newman and Adam Newman push forward with a dangerous rescue mission. Sharon and Noah are still trapped by Matt Clark, and time is running out. There's no room for hesitation anymore. Nick and Adam have to act immediately. Despite his condition, Nick insists on going. Even though his body is clearly struggling, he refuses to step back. Adam tries to keep him steady, but Nick is already pushing past his limits. The tension between the brothers is high, but their goal is the same: save Sharon and Noah before it's too late. As they arrive at the abandoned gas station, everything feels off. The place is quiet, too quiet. It doesn't feel safe. It feels like a setup. Nick's condition begins to worsen again. The pain he's been hiding starts to flare up aggressively, making it harder for him to focus. His movements slow, and his strength begins to fade at the worst possible moment. Adam notices it immediately and urges him to take something to stabilize himself. But Nick is still fighting against relying on anything that could deepen his addiction problem. That hesitation becomes dangerous. Inside the gas station, chaos is building on all sides. Matt is still controlling the situation from the shadows, watching everything unfold like a twisted game. Nick pushes forward anyway, determined to reach Sharon and Noah. But his body finally gives out. Right at the moment when things matter most. Nick collapses. Adam rushes to him instantly, panic setting in as Sharon and Noah look on in shock from nearby. Everything stops for a moment. The rescue mission has completely fallen apart. And now Adam is forced to face a terrifying reality: Nick's condition is no longer something he can ignore or control. Meanwhile, somewhere nearby, Matt's presence looms over the situation, clearly enjoying the chaos he has created. The trap is working exactly as he planned. And Nick's collapse may only be the beginning of something far worse. In The Young and the Restless, the situation inside the abandoned gas station takes a darker turn as Nick Newman lies collapsed and everything starts falling apart. Adam Newman is in full panic mode now. Nick is unresponsive on the ground, and there's no clear sign of immediate recovery. Sharon and Noah are frozen in fear, watching the scene unfold in real time. But the real danger isn't just inside the gas station. It's watching from the outside. Matt Clark is nearby, observing everything with disturbing calm. He isn't rushing in. He isn't panicking. Instead, he's watching the outcome of his plan like it's already completed. Nick's collapse doesn't worry him, it confirms what he wanted. Matt's strategy was never random. It was designed to exploit weakness, pressure emotions, and push Nick into a breaking point where control would disappear completely. And now, that moment has arrived. As Adam desperately tries to wake Nick, the situation only becomes more intense. Nick's condition is unstable, and there's no clear way to predict what happens next. Every second feels heavier than the last. Sharon is visibly shaken. Noah is terrified. And Adam is stuck between saving his brother and dealing with the unfolding danger around them. The emotional weight is crushing. But Matt remains detached. From his position, he watches Nick's downfall with satisfaction, believing everything is going exactly as planned. His cold reaction confirms one thing: this wasn't just about chaos. It was intentional. Back inside, Adam refuses to give up on Nick. He keeps trying to revive him, refusing to accept that the situation might be getting worse instead of better. But the environment around them is still unsafe. Nothing is stable. And Matt's presence looms like a threat that could escalate at any second. Sharon begins to realize something important: this isn't just an accident or a medical crisis. It's a setup. And Nick is the target. The rescue mission that started with urgency is now turning into a survival situation for everyone involved. And the worst part? They still don't know how far Matt is willing to go. In The Young and the Restless, the aftermath of Nick Newman's collapse begins to ripple far beyond the gas station. While chaos unfolds at the scene, Chelsea Lawson is back at the hotel waiting for news. At first, she expects a normal update, maybe that the rescue mission is underway, maybe that things are under control. But the longer she waits, the worse her instincts become. Something feels wrong. When Adam Newman finally returns alone, everything changes in an instant. The moment Chelsea sees Adam's face, she already knows this isn't good news. There's no relief in his expression. No sign of success. Only exhaustion, guilt, and fear. Chelsea immediately asks about Nick. Adam hesitates. That silence says everything before he even speaks. Then comes the truth. Nick has collapsed. His condition is critical. And the situation is far more serious than anyone expected. Chelsea is shaken instantly. The idea that Nick's addiction and physical condition have reached this level is overwhelming. She struggles to process what she's hearing, especially knowing how fast everything escalated. Adam explains pieces of what happened, how the rescue turned chaotic, how Nick's condition suddenly worsened, and how everything spiraled out of control at the worst possible moment. But one thing is clear. Nick is not safe yet. And Matt Clark is still out there. As Chelsea absorbs the news, her emotions shift between fear and disbelief. She knows Nick has been struggling, but hearing that it has reached a life-threatening point changes everything. At the same time, Adam is dealing with his own emotions. Guilt weighs heavily on him. He pushed Nick. He urged him to take action. And now everything has collapsed in front of him. But guilt quickly turns into anger when Matt's name comes up again. Adam realizes this wasn't just an unfortunate chain of events. It was manipulation. A calculated setup that targeted Nick's weakest point. Chelsea listens as Adam's frustration builds, and she can see the emotional conflict tearing him apart: worry for his brother, anger at Matt, and helplessness over what happens next. Back at the gas station, the situation remains unstable. Nick's condition is still uncertain, and no one knows how long it will take before he recovers or if there will be further complications. The entire Newman family is now on edge. Because this isn't just a medical emergency anymore. It's part of something far more dangerous. In The Young and the Restless, the crisis surrounding Nick Newman doesn't end with his collapse, it only deepens the fallout for everyone involved. Nick is still in critical condition, and the uncertainty around his recovery keeps everyone on edge. What looked like a rescue mission has now turned into a full-scale emotional and medical emergency. At the hospital level of concern, nothing feels stable yet. Adam Newman is now carrying a heavy emotional burden. On one side, he's terrified for his brother. On the other, he's consumed with guilt, replaying every moment leading up to Nick's collapse. He told Nick to push forward. He urged him to take something for the pain. And now he's left questioning whether that pressure contributed to the outcome. That guilt quickly turns into anger, but not at Nick. At Matt Clark. Because Adam now sees the bigger picture clearly. This wasn't random chaos. It was a controlled situation designed to exploit Nick's weakness and push him beyond his limit. Matt used every vulnerability as leverage. And it worked. Meanwhile, Chelsea is trying to stay strong, but the emotional weight is overwhelming. Watching Adam break down in his own way only makes the situation harder. She understands the danger, but the uncertainty is what hurts the most. No clear answers. No confirmed stability. Just waiting. Sharon and Noah are also left shaken after witnessing everything firsthand. Sharon's suspicions about Sienna and the entire situation around Nick remain unresolved. Even though Sienna helped during critical moments, Sharon still cannot fully trust what she saw. There are too many unanswered questions. Too many strange connections. and too much involvement from people who may not be fully honest. Nick's condition becomes the center of everyone's focus, but the bigger issue is now clear: this situation is not isolated. It's part of a larger pattern involving manipulation, pressure, and psychological control. Matt Clark remains a threat in the background. And as long as he is free, no one is truly safe. The Newman family is now divided between fear, anger, and uncertainty. Nick's survival is no longer just a medical question, it's a turning point for everything that comes next. Because after everything that has happened in The Young and the Restless, nothing will ever feel the same again.